celebration of the Family Planning Association of India, Nagaland Branch, Kohima. I am Ms. Alenyo Kileo, a youth volunteer and a proud member of this wonderful organization, and I am honored to be your host for this special evening. Today marks a significant milestone in the history of FPAI India. For 75 years, we have been dedicated to promoting reproductive health and family planning, empowering individuals and communities to make informed choices about their health and well-being. This celebration is not only a testament to our enduring commitment, but also a tribute to all those who have contributed to our journey over the years. We are gathered here at the Muskan Youth Center, a place that symbolizes the vibrancy and dynamism of our youth, who are the future leaders and torchbearers of our mission. The theme of tonight's celebration is to reflect on our achievements, recognize our present efforts, and envision a future where every individual has access to comprehensive sexual and reproductive health services. So without further ado, let's embark on this celebratory journey together, starting with the welcome address.
Guests and dear friends, it is my immense pleasure to welcome you all to the 75th anniversary celebration of Family Planning Association of India. For 3/4 of a century, our organization has been at the forefront of championing sexual and reproductive health, family planning and youth empowerment, including humanitarian response and climate change. The milestone is not just a testament to our enduring commitment, but also to the collective efforts of our dedicated team, supportive partners, and the community's research achievements, and renew our commitment to building a healthier, more equitable world for future generations. As we commemorate these significant occasions, we are reminded the countless lives transformed through our initiatives, from providing essential SRH services and promoting informed family planning to empowering young people and advocating for sustainable practices. Our work has made profound impact in humanitarian response in crisis into our health programs, has further strengthened our mission, ensuring that we address the present challenges of our time. Today we celebrate not just our past, but also our promising future that lies ahead, driven by innovation, collaboration, and unwavering dedication to our cause. Thank you for being part of the incredible journey, and let us continue to strive for a world where health, equality, and sustainability are within everyone's reach. Welcome to the 75th anniversary of Family Planning Association of India.
Of the 75th anniversary of the Family Planning Association of India. I, on behalf of the FPA Nagaland branch and on my own behalf, would like to extend and express my gratitude to each and every one of you for your presence and your commitment to our collective goals. Today, as we celebrate this 75th years of dedication, hard work, and impactful service, the field of SRH, sexual reproductive health, family planning, adolescence, SRH, climate change, and humanitarian response. Before we go any further, let me take this opportunity to speak a few lines on FPA history. In 1947, when India became independent, fertility was tried, with couples averaging 6 children. Public health facilities were minimal, and life expectancy was 40 years. With a growing 344 million population, with too soon and too many children detrimental to women's health, a group of concerned women decided to address this issue. This evolved into the establishment of Family Planning Association of India in 1949. Recognizing the need for public education and community engagement, FPA India emerged as a key partner of the Government of India, instrumental in successful advocating for including family planning in the country's first 5-year plan, 1952. Under the leadership and vision of Lady Dhanwati Rama Rao and Ms. Ababai Wadia, FPA India adopted a decentralized, community-based approach, working with the urban poor and villages from some of the most impoverished regions of India through grassroots outreach, advocacy efforts, and close collaboration with the Government of India and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, FP India, effectively promote the benefits of smaller families for women's health and overall development. FP India's contribution in advocating for family planning ensured its introduction in the country's 5-year plan, 1952. It is through these efforts that India became the first country in the world to introduce policies around family planning. FP India's dedication was acknowledged by the Government of India with a commemorative postal stamp issued on the 50th anniversary. FP India legacy extends beyond national borders. FP India was one of the founding members of the International Planned Parenthood Federation, IPPF, established during the Third International Planned Parenthood Conference held in Mumbai. Now it's Mumbai. In 1952. Today, FP India continues to be the prominent member of the IPPF's 149-member countries, representing India's pioneering efforts in the global SRH landscape. As FP India turns 75, the organization remains committed to ensuring equitable access to SRHR information and service across 18 Indian states. Their unwavering dedication continues to empower communities and pave the way for a healthier future for all. Our wide range of programs on sexual and reproductive health and rights cover contraception, safe abortion, maternal, child and adolescent health, prevention and management of sexually transmitted and reproductive tract infections, cervical and breast cancer, subfertility and gender-based violence. FP annual reach in 2023 has been 3.69 million people through 44 branches, projects and partners. We should be doing more in the years to come with dynamic leadership at the headquarters and volunteerism assisted by trained and professional staff. Youth-centric initiatives. This TalkX is an initiative of the branch that improving adolescent, SRH, education and empowerment, where young people come together at jam and jam, showcase their talents and skills, and make friendship in a safe place here at the Muscat Community Center, where we are doing our 75th anniversary program today. TalkX will continue and on all 4 Saturdays shall be faced.
Jisa has been the lady who gives immunization service to all the children. We were once given the recognition of being the best immunization center by Dr. Aku during his time. I personally like that. Yeah. Many seniors have come. They have given their best. Working in NGO during those days, payment is not good, but they have given their best. I think they started with hundreds. Family Planning Association of India, our work is dependent on medical fraternity. Without medical fraternity, we cannot do anything. Because what we as an association believe is that if we talk about the IECs that we talk about, we say immunization is important, then we should be able to give immunization service. We say contraceptive is important, then there should be an outlet where these devices should be given. And that's where we are very dependent on medical fraternity, doctors and paramedics. Yes, please. Thank you. Congratulations. There's the position. Congratulations. Yeah. Multitasking. Multitasking is the trend today in non-governmental organization. And this is what we need. We have our lab technician turned into MIS, data operator, then sound engineer, then our driver, then our electrician, everything. And we are the only two guys in Nagaland branch. So the rest all ladies. So anything, I have the age on my side. So me all the time. But he has been very patient and he has been very tolerant and he's been able to do that. Kaini has been single-handedly handling our immunization services, contraceptive services. She's a nurse by profession, and she's been able to take care of our little OT that we have. Everything. Kaini does that. So they need to be acknowledged, and this is the best time to acknowledge. Yes. Okay. The girl, the woman, the lady who was speaking so fluently and leading our program, Alenyo Kelio. She is a youth volunteer of branch steering committee. Alenyo, please come. Then the man who delivered the welcome address, Mr. Chipu. These are not congratulatory things, these are thank you things. I would like to call upon Mr. Ketho, Art Foundation, to kindly stand. Yes. This is a thank you. This is our clinic where we also have the branch. Our office and our branch office and clinic is located at the Darkland, opposite the charity school. It used to be home for one of my auntie, and now she was very kind to give it to us so that we can use it for our office. So we are very happy and proud to have a simple, humble, but homely office. But let me be honest, this is an old picture. Now we have gardens on the retaining walls. Gardens, not grass and gardens. Season, it will have beautiful flowers. Okay? Next, please. Move. Yes. Quickly run you through. 1960s, we introduced population education in universities. When I first joined Nagaland branch, I was designated as Population Education Officer, and in short we call it POPED Officer. In the 1970s we started the comprehensive sexuality education, and we continue to do that in schools and colleges till today. 1980s, Family Planning Association of India initiated community mobilization. Then 1990s, we expanded family planning programs for holistic sexual and reproductive health programs as a right. Then 2000 came, we integrated HIV/AIDS into sexual and reproductive health care services, expanded reach to key populations. That's the time when we started working with the key population. And 2010, we scale up cervical cancer screening using low resource technology. Note that. Initiation of SRH services in humanitarian settings. That 2020s, with the COVID and all those, introduced telemedicine and digital health interventions, expanded SRH services for LGBTQIA+ groups as well. I wanted to take this opportunity because CMO is here and representatives from District Disaster Management is also here. We just want to let you know that incorporation of sexual reproductive health in humanitarian programs is important. Disaster time, we are only looking at food, shelter, and nothing much, or medical emergencies, but sexual reproductive health of the young people, of the people, is important. We want to let you know that, and let's think something on that angle. So celebrating glorious 75 years. Here, as you will already know with the leaflets that we have given, established in the year 1949 to promote family planning, and evolved as a national voluntary organization working for sexual reproductive health and rights. Then there was an advocacy success. That was in the year 1951, the first 5-year developmental plan was by the government of India was the acceptance of family planning. So India is one of the first country to accept family planning in 5-year developmental program, and that is an advocacy success of Family Planning Association of India. Then we also established the first clinic in Mumbai now, which is the International Planned Parenthood Federation. We will dwell further on IPPF. Then, in the year 1999, we were given 1999. We were given the honor of Apostle stamp by the government of India as we, attained 50 years. Excuse me. Our vision, mission, and impact, legal data in the year 2023. But most importantly, our vision is impacting lives, upholding sexual reproductive health and rights, sustaining social well-being, and our mission being committed to advancing sexual reproductive health and rights, gender justice, diversity and inclusion for all, especially the marginalized and vulnerable, driven by young people. This is where volunteerism by young people that we emphasize. Powered by sustainability and accountability. We may have lots of ambitions, but if we don't have that fun, we don't have that ground, then we're going to die. So all of us working in development sector, in NGOs, we must now begin to think about sustainability and at the same time be accountable to the funds, grants that we receive as well. That trend has to come. And of course, the year 2023 little data that we have is total unintended pregnancies averted. As you see the number, 284,029. Then unsafe abortions averted, 122,191. Then maternal deaths averted, 10,058. Then 1,611 maternal and child deaths averted. Then you have total deaths averted, 132,200. I cannot see. Thanks for the participation. Next. That's how we go. Yes. So, when we were asked, I have this very tribalistic, racist bent of mind, So, when July 23 comes, then I used to think, kile manu laga, I'm speaking that in Aramis naturally, kile manu laga anniversary foundation day celebrate to Mohan Nijur, Nagaland, Naga Kurudo. I used to think like that. But through the years, I began to have gray hairs, matured, and one of my president, now I dyed my hair, one of my president, late Mr. H. Hessel, through whom I have learned so many things, how to manage and how to put up my file and all those things. So now we realize the importance. So, but even if we celebrate 75 years anniversary today of Family Planning Association of India, I would like to draw your attention to the local level Nagaland branch. Nagaland branch was established in the year 1977, 29 January. So that's the time when we should be celebrating and partying and dancing as well. So we'll have to start thinking on that line as well. 2nd December 1976, my memory is helping me now. 2nd December 1976, Mr. S.P. Sinha. He was key in thinking of the need to start a family welfare program. And Mr. S.P. Sinha initiated, and they discussed the things. 1977, they had a meeting, and under the chairmanship or presidentship, then we used to have presidentship of Dr. L.M. Murray. Dr. L.M. Murray, Family Planning Association of India, Nagaland branch, came into existence. And the last time Dr. L.M. Murray walked into our clinic there, unannounced, and because I didn't see him as well. So I was wondering, he looks he's acting very familiar with in the office. Then we talked, chatted, and then he happened to be Dr. L.M. Murray. That was a few years back. He was very active, agile at that time. Then I remember names like S.P. Wetza, I remember names like P.B. Rai and P.P. Rai as well. Then I remember Dr. K.K. Angami. I think those Arotoba Asen now. So they were the first office bearers came to existence. The branch caters to marginalized poor population in Kohima, and we also go out to different districts whenever we get funds and sponsorships to go out and conduct health camps, awareness sessions as well. The unique selling point of Nagaland branch is confidentiality. Being friendly, I hope I'm friendly, I'm looking friendly, I guess. Being friendly and very easy access in a homely environment. That is our selling point. So we may not have the best, the flashiest of infrastructure, but that is what we strive to. There are very important 8 services that we look into, and we call these 8 services as integrated package of essential services. And these services are gender-based violence, counseling, contraception, safe abortion, STI, HIV, gynecology, obstetrics. We often, in front of the doctors, to say this is a little funny, but the common public, often confuse obstetrics and gynecology. But obstetrics has its own place, gynecology also has its own place. I won't dare to go further than that. So these are the important services that we provide here. Now, when we talk of comprehensive SRH services, pictures are not very clear, it's okay. But it gives you the idea of what we do. So, services package are like counseling, consultation, management, diagnostic investigation, and preventive care. This photograph is being taken in one of those health camps we conducted during the Manipur prep. In one during Manipur crisis continues, but in one of the health camps, we put up our cars there, put up the banners, and done all these green sheets, and we conducted the health camp in the open local ground. Yes. So, while advocating humanitarian response settings need sexual reproductive health services for adolescents, young people, and also for the common people, we would like to, draw the attention of all of us here and look at what is disaster. We always hear the siren of, state disaster management, the mock drills and all those things. Why are they doing all those things even if there is no disaster? But preparation is very important. That's why these things are done. But let's look at this disaster as per UNDRR. Disaster is a serious disruption of the functioning of a society involving widespread human, material, economic, or environmental losses and impacts which exceeds the ability of the affected society to cope using its own resources. That's what disaster is. We need help, and that's why we need to be prepared. And to be prepared, we have to also look into the emergency health care can be like it, but sexual reproductive health to be important as a whole. It will emphasize program as a disaster kiki hoy itu mohon ekor percentage hisab dia kalau saya about 60% of our landmass is prone to earthquake. Over 40 million hectares is prone to floods. Itu Guwahati Jaya flood di Cuba. About 8% of the total area is prone to cyclone. 68% of the area is susceptible to drought. Itu India laga hisab dia kuasa. Poor and socially, this is very important. Poor and socially weaker segments of population are worst hit by disaster. And if I am given the liberty to add, I would also add young girls and women are the worst hit. So when we talk of young girls and women, sexual gender-based violence, the National Family Health Survey 5 2022 report where 32% of married women in the age bracket of 18 to 49 years have experienced physical, sexual, or emotional spousal violence. The most common type of spousal violence is physical violence, followed by emotional violence and sexual violence. India ranks 35 out of 146 countries in the Global Gender Gap Index. Our effects of emergencies on SRHR. Keyword: women and girls are at increased risk. Rape and other forms of sexual violence, early child and forced marriage, human trafficking, unintended pregnancy, unsafe abortion, complications during pregnancy and delivery, STI and HIV infection, disaster warning, humanitarian setting there to come. So quickly run through. This is a big slide, but we won't not spend too much time there. International Planned Parenthood Federation, IPPF, our mother organizations, have pioneered this, what we call in short MISP, Minimum Initial Service Package. This is important if we have this trained, if we are aware of this, then it is a tool perfect for life-saving activities to respond to sexual reproductive health needs of the affected populations at the onset of humanitarian crisis. At the onset of humanitarian crisis, we have to look at this one. Why we talk of minimum initial service package, the 6+1, but we'll deal with that in the next slide. Minimum initial service package is important to prevent mortality, morbidity, and disability. Next. MISP. Why MISP? GBV, STI, HIV, obstetric complications, unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortion causes increased SRH mortality and therefore included in MISP. OLB, cervical cancer, infertility, ANC, PNC does not cause increased SRH mortality and therefore is not included in MISP. So we are basically looking at GBV, STI, HIV, obstetric complications, unwanted pregnancy, unsafe abortions. MISP din itu bantu sakoi lagi. Yes, family planning. No. We have to look at family planning services. When we're talking about family planning, we're talking about contraceptions. Supply of contraception is important. Supply of contraception is important. We're talking about GBV services. GBV services, we need the security and safety of young girls, women in the humanitarian setting, camp setting, it is important for that, so that they will not get into GBV, gender-based violence no more. HIV, STI, when disaster setting together, the emergency situation together, HIV, STI, it will be important service. ART, emergency situation there, Rasta block was there, Domdobo was there, Totala, ART those we have to find ways to see that the supply chain is continued. Next. Then ANC, PNC services, it will be important services as well. The most fragile, most care likely again. Abortion care services, settings, disaster setting, gender-based violence, rape, one society to do it one surround again, and that it abortion care, it will be again. Unplanned pregnancy, which is to service again. Dignity kit, disaster setting, the dignity kit, basically do international organizations come down and do some set again. Mohanlal Diwan Prado so remember at least dignity kit was the connect the key as well. Put it together with powers. Yes. So those are dignity kits. Ekta manu kala period manu. Ekta maiki kala period na period hagatan there. Tai itu korporat saman pawo tai chula boleh na itu karena man dignity kit there itu kan rachi boleh lagi. Aro important ekta to torchlight. Mana no hai torchlight ni. Camp set up with this year, Rati the bar toilet jaita the Kuba booth again Duri Lucy looking at now. You do prevent Guru again, or booth to go, Mohan is the again. I get a Duri Lily no more to prevent Guru. Or Parat to you have separate Makihala, like it, you would like Mutakana, put in again, like it, so that Okubi no more. The other phases of humanitarian crisis there, one preparedness, like you will again. Itu one idea, CMO give point one preparedness, again, one Kinaka one as an Abner Hedge, Ekta Mohan NGO can give Abner Hangier party the NDP होगा ना BJP होगा कोई होगा वाले पार्टी ने दादी थी ने वहाँ के भी महालाला साइड की गुरुकुला पढ़े itu mohon gibi guru TV abdi nanti kuda se mohon gibi guru TV na itu preparedness to kita hobo pre crisis no age eta mega celebration pura karte mohon ready thaki pura lage aro response to kita hobo one family planning association of India under international plan parenthood federation de mohon month likina se 0 to 6 months bitorte itu response to dibula lage Oleh Manipur lagu sekina sal tu jadi se. Nah, aro mohan north east itu protracted crisis which is it. The protracted crisis which is boleh tu, moi itu slow pura tu mula tangkan slow is it. Protracted crisis tu more than 9 years, 10 years, 20 years. Mohan thick saja boleh mohan naga insurgency tu bisa saja boleh tu. Ekta protracted problem ekta business aro recovery period reach boleh tu mohan post crisis recovery period tu mohan laga rule hisab de mohan ki hikai dia hisab de mohan ki rule lagi se puri lobi itu biche de government health centers kon tu samne sabse samne de ase tate mohan jagine tahan service continue rule itu hai patau lagi boleh mohan la kam tu tate berak tu FBA India one national level de kiki response region itu kan ase Kerala Kodugu flood de 2018 de mohan tate response de moto kule parise cyclone Fani 2019 de cyclone Amphan 2020 COVID pandemic 2021 Kerala flood 2021-22 Chennai flood 21-22 Manipur response 23-24 itu kan deh mohan response dulu lagi mohan itu preparing for crisis karena crisis jauh lebih lagi crisis aja jauh lebih jauh kan bisa bawa naik jauh lebih lagi oleh kenapa tu awal lagi oleh crisis aja jauh lebih tu Manipur is that ini kan aja jauh lebih tu within 72 hours mohan of grant tu Dali dua, sign beri dua. Ini guys, itu tu preparedness. DDMA kan state disaster, district disaster, health department kan dulu miligine, NGOs kan partners kan dulu miligine. Itu tu preparation begini. Mohon itu kurule pare deh, itu Chennai ini kurule para, itu kurule lagi ne prepared kurule lagi. Itu stage tu, mohon 11 state dia, itu implement kurese. Gujarat, Maharashtra, Nagaland, and Haryana. Itu mohon tu agak piche de join cruise. Nagaland tu this year head join cruise. Itu dah aja tu Orissa, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Jammu Kashmir, Kerala, atau Jharkhand. Itu kan itu already itu kan response program tu curi lagi se. Next, silakan bawa je. Ya. Mohon ki kurule lage as FBA India coordination and partnership with stakeholders, NGOs, advocacy meeting workshop with DDMA, health department and CSOs, joint events conducted with partners, sexual reproductive health in emergency focus kuri dibole lage mohon observe humanitarian day and international day of risk reduction itu mohon observe dibole lage coordination meeting with interagency group ekta ase mohon nagande aro training on MISP and SGBV itu Simo Sapra mohon ge Morobra conference hall di mohon MISP training bi kurije aro media meeting sensitization workshop itu mohon media meet kan tu Kohima Press Club kan oligine Kohima Press Club TV kurije itu last slides aije itu kan across India, different states, their response kura pre-disaster dia mohon training kuri thaga itu kan ekta duita photo next. Kita mari siap. Next ya. Itu Nagaland team laga pictures. Health camp kan kuri je, awareness sessions kan kuri je. Aro mohon la agenda to sexual reproductive health 이두다 이제도 이두한 자기네 following the principles of minimum initial service package 자기네 이두한 부르시 아로 way forward 기부르고 coming together for the incorporation of MISP for SRH in humanitarian policies and programs. Idu mohan CMO laga office conference hall de program project Dr. Ato aigine mohan da program de guest of honor speakers. Gane धन्यवाद, thank you, शुक्रिया. मोहन हेल्थ कैंप पूरा नगा बाहर दे पूरी लगे आहा तो बिशी खुशी पाइजे कोइने आइगिने सर्विस तो इने जाय थगला आइ ता पिक्चर से. Thank you so much.
Let us gain insights to SRHIE in humanitarian settings from an expert who has been at the forefront of this initiative. So I invite Ms. Vikosanyo Katso, our dedicated program officer, to share her valuable perspective.
A brief explanation on our recent training, which was on adolescent sexual reproductive health delivery in emergency settings. So this training was mainly focused on how to be better prepared using the MIS objectives, focusing on adolescent sexual reproductive health. So why there's a need to focus on adolescent sexual reproductive health, because although adolescents make up a large proportion of the population, when we look at community in crisis, it is seen that sexual reproductive health needs are hardly unmet. 1/3 of women give birth before the age of 20 years, a total delivery of women before the age of 20 annually. With delivery of women will likely give birth before they reach the age of 20, and annually around 15 million adolescents give birth before they reach the age of 20. 5 million adolescents are seen to have unsafe abortions, of which 70,000 are related to abortion deaths. Half of new HIV infections are found among the ages of 15 to 24 years, and 1/3 of new STI cases are found among the ages of 25 and below. So in order to be better prepared, we can apply this ASRHIE MIS objectives. These are the 6+1 objectives. The first objective is ensure that health clusters identifies the organization to meet the needs for SRH. So when we talk about this, we can never work alone. Hence, it is important to collaborate. Collaboration can be done through with the help of DDMAs, health clusters, NGOs, and even communities. By working together, we can identify the gaps, the challenges, and how we can tackle it. But in order to be better prepared, we need to have proper resources. So in order to have proper resources, we need to have secure funds. Secure funds can be through the government or even through NGOs. When we look at adolescents, in terms of emergencies, especially adolescent girls are more prone towards vulnerable towards rape and sexual exploitation. For adolescents who are sexually active, in times of crisis, they may not have access to family planning services as well as sexual reproductive services. So in such cases, they are more likely to practice unprotected sex, further leading to more HIV as well as STI and unwanted pregnancies. So in some cases, adolescents might even be separated from their families, so that they are more vulnerable to sexual exploitation. Hence, in such cases, because of their limited life experience, they might not understand the nature of abuse as well as exploitation. And in order to meet their family needs, they might resort to selling sex in order to meet their family needs. So, in order to avoid such scenarios, we can apply these following objectives. The second objective is on prevent sexual violence and respond to the needs of survivors. Engagement of communities. When we talk about engagement of communities, when we look at the society, they usually tend to be judgmental. So, with the help of communities, by educating them, bring awareness, we can reduce stigmatization as well as discrimination. We can ensure a safe space, making sure that the we can ensure a safe space, making sure that the adolescents feel safe and making sure that keeping in mind the volunteers should keep in mind that they are working with adolescents and maintain their privacy as well as confidentiality. Psychosocial input should also be encouraged in order to help survivors respond to cope up with their trauma as well as rebuild their self-worth as well as sense of security. The next objective is prevent and reduce morbidity and mortality due to HIV and STI. In order to reduce HIV and STI, we can encourage early testing, promote counseling services, as well as access to condom, as well as promote PrEP and PAP, making sure that adolescents know about the access for PAP services. Prevent excess maternal and newborn morbidity and mortality. When we look at adolescents, it is said that the leading cause of death among adolescents is said to be abortion. Is said to be due to pregnancy, during delivery, or even abortions. In order to prevent this, we can when we look at health providers, we have to we can encourage clean delivery packages. Of course, health facilities should be encouraged, but in cases of crisis, in order to be better prepared, we can provide clean delivery packages so that they can be used in terms of delivery at your health facility or even at your homes. By working with community leaders, we can identify the pregnant women as well as help them refer to the nearest linkages available. Informal services also should be available 24/7 so that in case of any emergency, it can be treated without delay. In order to prevent unwanted pregnancies, we can provide family counseling services and different contraceptive methods. Ensure safe abortion care. It is estimated that 3.2 million adolescents have unsafe abortions performed by unskilled person or in an environment where the medical standards are not properly met. So in order to prevent this, we can provide access to information about abortion procedures, risks, and the services. We must make sure that the trained providers are well trained and competent and perform this in a safe and hygienic facility. Thank you, that will be all for my part.
To have a very special guest with us today, Dr. Lemne Konyak, the Chief Medical Officer of Kohima. Dr. Lemne Konyak contributions to the health sector are immense, and we are privileged to share the thoughts with us today. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Lemne Konyak.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to give honor and glory to God for granting us such a wonderful day to celebrate 75th anniversary of Family Planning Association of India. I also would like to thank the Family Planning Association of India, Nagaland branch, for inviting me to be a part of this historic celebration. On this auspicious occasion and celebration, I take this opportunity to salute the pioneers of this association, both national and state level. For their commendable achievement since its inception in 1949. And the state branch is nearing celebration of Golden Jubilee very soon, since it was born in 1977. Family Planning Association of India was formed by recognizing that having too many children and repeated pregnancies become detrimental to women's health. Therefore, a group of concerned intellectual women decided to address the issues, which was resulted in the establishment of Family Planning Association of India in 1949 and affiliated to the International Planned Parenthood Federation. Family Planning Association of India is a voluntary, non-governmental organization which was established and pioneered the family planning movement in India. The association worked on a wide range of sexual and reproductive health and rights issues encompassing family planning, maternal health, child survival, HIV/AIDS, safe abortion, reproductive tract cancer screening and prevention, gender empowerment, and young people, and mitigation of gender-based violence. The key strategy of Family Planning Association of India includes ensuring access to high-quality sexual reproductive health services and strengthening access to information and service to young people. Comprehensive sexuality, education and capacity building of health care providers and community volunteers on sexual and reproductive health issues, engaging with communities and individuals to change gender disparity and promote sexual and reproductive health and rights, providing livelihood opportunities for economic empowerment of the poor and vulnerable, and advocacy for policy change at the national and state level. Some of the most important benefits of the family planning, if implemented effectively, are now visible in preventing pregnancies-related health risks in women, reduction or reducing infant mortality, reducing maternal mortality, helping to prevent HIV and AIDS, empowering people and enhancing education, reducing adolescents' pregnancies, improve quality of life, slowing population growth. These are some of the most important positive impact that if we can continue this family planning service effectively. On this historic and remarkable day of Platinum Jubilee of Family Planning Association of India, I sincerely congratulate and thanks to the association for empowering people, for transforming gender norms and power dynamics to promote gender equality, reduce gender-based violence, and improve the economic status of women and other vulnerable groups through their tireless effort and valuable family planning service rendered to the people of Nagaland. As the association celebrates those momentous milestone of 75 years of existence, it can be said that it is not only a milestone for the association, but also for the state of Nagaland. As we celebrate this joyous occasion, we must also take the opportunity to retrospect, to be inspired by the achievement made so far, and look forward with a renewed vision and plan. May the association continue to grow from strength to strength and excel in the service of humanity. Thank you and God bless.
So, to conclude the formal part of the program, I would like to invite Ms. Punasongla Jamir, Councillor, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Organization, I would like to extend our gratitude to all the attendees and well-wishers here tonight for being a part of this auspicious event. And sincere gratitude to our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Mimi Mulia, Senior Member, for being here with us today as well, and for enlightening our minds with your reliable inputs and offering continuous encouragement and support to the event. I thank the participants, Ms. Alenio Telio, for anchoring tonight's program in such a beautiful way, and also for sharing your beautiful journey and testimony at the end. I also thank Mr. Atiku Usu for such a kind welcome address, our chairperson, Mr. Dejavi Zaki for the journey address, Ms. Lino Sanyogato for the presentation on ASR HLE, and our general manager, Mr. Vincent Bello, for giving us an insight and highlighting the services rendered by the FDA for the last 75 years. The DC members and the FDA staff and faculty members for making this mission a success. Also, a special gratitude to the media and the arts for contributing their valuable time to be in our list this evening. As we conclude our session, I encourage us all to carry forward the donation we have had today.
Its staff, volunteers, partners, and the communities we serve. Tonight, we celebrated our past achievements, recognized our present endeavors, and envisioned the future where every individual has the right and access to comprehensive sexual and reproductive health services. So as we move forward, let us continue to work together with renewed vigor and commitment. Let us strive to reach greater heights and make even more significant impact in the years to come.